Alrighty, guys, we are live. It's been a minute since I've did a basketball stream. Well, we've got one here for you guys. It's Friday night, the day before NFL playoffs. So be sure to drop a like on the channel. I'm going to do live game audio and stream it here to you guys on YouTube, free of charge. This game is live. It's going to be the Pelicans versus the Nuggets. It's 4:57 to go in the first quarter. So be sure to get those likes in, everybody.
He shifted his focus to taking and making more threes this season, and boy, is it paying off, Dave.
He's had a great year. It's his second full year with New Orleans. Spent all that time playing alongside Dame Lillard in Portland. And his role has changed, but his production is not.
And here we go, get to see a chance at this New Orleans Pelicans depth. I think it's the deepest team in the league. There's Larry Nance. Larry Nance is one of those glue guys, and they talked about how important he is. Willie Green told us before the game, David Griffin, how important he is to connect what they do. Alvarado is just energy every night. Herb Jones is starter, but now they got Trey Murphy coming in here, and they can't even get Jordan Hawkins in the game. Right. And he was a great draft pick.
Here's Jokic for three.
Boom. Downtown, baby.
3 assists and 9 points. But back to your point on the New Orleans bench, I mean, you've got a bench player averaging in double figures and shooting 40% from 3 who can't get on the floor because they're so deep.
Daniel Berry,
That's
welcome,
Murphy,
man.
Who's
I appreciate you stopping
He's
in.
on a minutes restriction, but missed time with a knee injury suffered in the summer. But he's back playing his 16th game of the year. Gordon got the better of Marshall on the drive there, got good position.
Yeah, and Denver's still got a lot of their starters in the game. 4 starters. They subbed out Reggie Jackson for Murray. But the thing will be interesting is when this New Orleans bench against the Denver bench, New Orleans has got a huge advantage there.
And Denver with a transition in terms of its bench. Yeah. Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, big part of the championship last year. They're elsewhere.
And those are guys that are hard to keep. You win a championship, makes everyone look better, helps everyone get paid. Hard to keep your bench players, those 6'7" guys. And Mike Malone said before the game, Reggie gets a shot up here. It didn't quite hit anything. I think that people can see that. But it's hard to keep those bench guys, and they got paid, and Jeff Green and Bruce Brown, and they're both doing well somewhere else.
That would have been excellent radio play-by-play, though, by you.
See that?
You got to paint the picture there.
Yeah, I
did.
did.
Not been here. Murphy misses a 3, so that's 2 consecutive misses. He's shooting over 40% from 3. Now Jokic 1 on 3, waiting for some help. Gives it up to Gordon for another shot at the rim, but he blew it. And there's Jokic to clean it up inside.
Every time Jokic, he does so many positive things. I mean, his touch is so good right around the rim. He helps you on every level. And you know what? His defense, Jokic's defense used to be a major problem. You watch him, he's moving better. He's jumping out on screens. And that's why Denver's so dangerous in the West.
Great hands by Caldwell Pope getting the steal and missed the layup in transition. So back-to-back bunnies that Denver could not make. They got the putback on the last attempt, but not in that fast break opportunity. Alvarado fouled on the reverse layup try by Reggie Jackson. That's the first foul.
Man, you could hear him hollering on the camera.
Time for tonight's national TV schedule, brought to you by ESPN Bet. On Martin Luther King Day, TNT, it's the Spurs and Hawks at 3:30, followed by Golden State and Memphis at 6. And then Wednesday on ESPN, Bucks and Cavs 7:30, ABC. It's the Mavs and the Lakers at 8:30. The Lakers are now under 500, 19-20, after the loss at home to Phoenix last night.
Another team I saw at the in-season tournament, they looked like I'm sure you saw how great they looked. Lakers almost looked like they peaked in Vegas, and now this New Orleans team couldn't have looked any worse in that game against the Lakers. And what, they're 11-4 since. That's the NBA season, Dave, and you've covered it all the time, and how you can look great in 1-2 week stretch and then awful. And that's the hard part of being a GM. It's like, what are we? And that's what you got to determine. The trade deadline is what, 3 weeks away? At that time, you better have an idea of what you are. But New Orleans is finding out what they are now in a very positive way with this winning they've been doing.
They blew out Sacramento on the road. They led by as many as 50 in that game. They torched the Warriors the other night.
That really happened? Are you sure?
It was the largest home loss for Golden State since 2007, before your arrival.
They don't count that stuff, do they?
Wasn't 07, though, the year they beat the Mavs in the first round when they were an 8 seed?
That's right. That was what we believe. There's part of their bench. See, they're going to need Peyton Watson, and they're going to need Christian Braun, Reggie Jackson. They're leaning a lot on a lot of young guys, and that works in the regular season. I wonder if it'll work in the postseason, but that's what they have right now.
And Peyton Watson, much improved player at UCLA, didn't play a ton, wasn't ready for the minutes at that level. And then last year came off the bench mostly for defense and athleticism, but he's really worked on his perimeter shooting, and it's much better.
Yeah, and that's the swing skill. We looked at him in the draft. Obviously, I got to look hard at the UCLA Bruin players. And you didn't know if he could shoot or not. But you figured if he could shoot, he could defend his position, and he's making his shots.
I hope he didn't look too hard at UCLA players last night as Alvarado hits a three.
Well, you and Walt were doing that game, right?
Bill was not there. Thankfully, Bill was not there. It would have. I can only imagine what would have been said in that 46-point loss for the Bruins.
Yeah, not a good night for the Bruins. Not a good.
Doing some edits for videos.
Closing in on a minute to go here in the first. Denver by 4. Another three for Peyton Watson. And Denver's fourth, 6.
Man, they're hitting them threes left and
like
right.
I said, I mean, if he's making that shot, he's a totally different player because his strengths are defense. You got him on Zion Williamson right now, and see what he can do here on this possession. They're going to try to go right at him.
Williamson puts it on the deck, and they're going to call a foul here on Watson. That's the first foul in the last 2 minutes on Denver.
See, pretty good job except for the last foul there. He's moving in feet. Hard part about guarding Zion is he's so quick and strong, and it's hard to put a defender on him that has the length and speed and strength to guard him, and that's why he gets near the rim. It's usually an automatic 2.
Williamson's got 6 points. They all came in the first few minutes as he hangs and hits the deck. Good defense by DeAndre Jordan. Met him in midair. Jackson thought about it. Skips it to Murray. And Murray fouled by Williamson. That's the first foul on the Pelicans.
That sure looked like. Can we see that again? That Zion. I mean, the athleticism is coming back. I can tell you whether this was a foul or not. The athleticism is coming back. It looked like DeAndre brought his arms down, but here we go. We get another look. Yeah, that is a foul. That's a foul.
That is. They got away with one there.
I thought it was, but Zion certainly thinks it is. I don't blame him.
Were you that boisterous when you'd see a foul on the Warriors?
No. I respect the officiating, but you know, here I'm neutral party. They can't say I'm rooting for either team, so I can comment.
And DeAndre Jordan took a shot there from Nance, and so with that being the second foul in the last 2 minutes, it's going to be free throws here for Jordan.
Yeah, that was a hard foul there. I'm not sure what happened on that one.
So Williamson to the bench. Jordan collecting himself. He'll shoot 2. So they changed the foul to C.J. McCollum, not Nance. 16th year for Jordan in the NBA, 35 years old, and he drills the first free throw. NBA All-Star voting presented by AT&T is open, and your vote counts triple today. You can help decide who goes to Indianapolis next month. Vote today with your NBA ID on the NBA app or at nba.com/vote.
Yeah, I mean, this is the question, right? This is the question with this Denver team. Now they got Murray playing with the second unit, but is DeAndre Jordan, Christian Braun, Peyton Watson, Reggie Jackson, is that a good enough second unit after losing guys like Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, that were so instrumental in that deep run? But look, the good news is they're playing them a lot in the regular season to find out.
And Jordan's playing about every other game. He has not been in the rotation every night, depending on matchups a lot. About a 9-second difference here in the clocks at the end of the first. McCollum lets it fly, no good, and Jordan with the rebound. Denver can hold for the final shot. Quiet first quarter for Jamal Murray. 2 points, 1 of 3 from the floor, and 1 assist. They double him, gives it up to Brown, who's open, and hits a 3. That's the 5th three-pointer of the opening quarter for Denver. Alvarado from half court, no good. And
wow.
Denver outscores New Orleans 24-7.
What a first quarter, guys! I missed some of it, but got to catch it here. Here we go, guys. At BK, have it your way. Hero. I don't like BK at all.
But that's not an easy pass right there.
Game
Good
is coming
catch by
back, guys.
Jokic.
So
Easy layup. New Orleans doesn't like giving that up. Here's Jokic. Soft touch. Just doesn't even glance right there, Aaron Gordon. And then another go-ahead. Too easy. Willie Green can't be happy. Porter finishes the layup.
I had to buy something.
Where are we supposed to hang it?
I don't know. In the attic?
Enough room to keep your cargo and your secrets safe.
In the most heated game time moments, you need the whole team, all in. And as your squad's sixth man, DoorDash is always there to help bring it home. Win or lose, DoorDash is there for you.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, cash or card.
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out, made with titanium.
We do have free movies with the purchase of headphones.
I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Welcome back to NBA Friday on ESPN, presented by State Farm. Coach Green, you hang your hat on defense. How would you assess your team's play on that end to start?
Poor at best.
And then when it comes to Jokic specifically, how do you disrupt his production?
Just got to continue to make it tough on him. He's going to get catches. He's going to shoot the ball. He can get it in the post. The biggest thing is that he's rebounding the ball and he's igniting their transition opportunities.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Obviously, Willie not happy with the defense, and Denver now 6 of 8 from 3. Obviously, Bob, you've known Willie for a long time. He was a more than solid player for over a decade in the NBA. Was an assistant with you guys at Golden State. Did you know back then he was just done playing? Did you think he'd be a head coach this quickly and have this much success?
You saw it in him, Dave. You could see it. You could see the leadership. You could see the poise. The players respected him, which is what he's doing now with this New Orleans team. He's competitive. You saw kind of didn't take it too easy on Katie there with the first question. That's some of the competitiveness. But you have to be competitive to be a coach in this league. And so I knew he'd be a coach. Didn't know when, but he got a great shot. And you're seeing how well this team's responded to him.
I mean, he made the playoffs 2 years ago without Zion. Made the play-in last year having Zion for half the season. Now he finally gets him healthy. And let's see what the Pelicans do. They look like a dangerous team, but they're struggling tonight, although with that Nance jumper.
You know, I'll tell you what, though,
28.
Dave, these big swings now, this is almost every NBA game. You know, used to be you'd be down 14 in the second quarter, and you're not winning. It's just not happening. This game's going to swing 4 more times. And so Willie probably sends that message, stay with it. Don't worry, we'll get back in this, but you don't want to get down too much against this Denver team.
Step back 3 in and out from Jamal Murray, almost batted in by Brown, and then Jordan slaps it into the backcourt. Dyson Daniels has been on the floor for Willie here the last minute. Talked about the depth. He was a first-round pick 2 years ago, top 10. And he started 13 games, averaging about 6 per game, which is double his scoring average from last year. Trying to find his niche on this very deep Pelican team. Murphy on the spot up, and the three goes down.
We worked him out at the facility. I should have known. This guy made all kinds of shots for a 6'10", 6 guy. Easy shot, easy release, 40%. That's the type of weapon coming off the bench. That's what every coach would want.
Played at Virginia. Tony Bennett made over 200 threes last year, Murphy did. Here's Brown, who won a national championship at Kansas. Both these teams, in terms of how they target and identify players to fill out their rosters, they like players that played for good programs, played a lot of big games in college.
Yeah.
And they're targeting the player too, or the person, excuse me, not just
that's right.
The player.
And that's important, right? I mean, you talk about Willie Green before the game, talk about winners, Jordan Hawkins, talking about guys like that they've targeted. They say you win, you work your way into the rotation lineup. Same thing over here with Calvin Booth, getting winners, Christian Brown getting that championship. So it's it matters. Winning matters. Winning's a skill just as much as anything else.
McCollum penetrates, kicks to the corner. Nance hit a three earlier, not that time. And now Denver looking to run. Brown fumbles it. Good hustle by Daniels. But Denver ball. Jokic on the bench to start the second quarter. 11 points, 5 assists in the first. Reggie Jackson trying to shake. Daniels does and hits.
Bam.
That's just good one-on-one basketball. Daniels is a smart player, great defender, but Reggie Jackson can do that. What he just did, he can do. He can get very hot and score right by himself.
15 bench points for Denver, 13 for New Orleans. McCollum with Brown on his hip, drives. Daniels, good look. Unable to hit. Nance kept it alive momentarily. And Zion getting on the deck. Jackson ahead to Brown. And McCollum comes from behind and gets the steal.
Great defense there.
New Orleans has won 2 straight games, 6 of its last 7, with the lone loss against the Clippers, who may be playing better than anybody right now in the West. McCollum drills another three. CJ McCollum's second triple.
He's playing very confident right now. Very confident. And Nance is one of these guys, doesn't get enough credit, won't show up in the stats. He's just an easy guy to play with, Larry. He just saw, nice dribble handoff, gets McCollum a shot that he can make.
New Orleans 6 of 15 from 3. Denver 6 of 10. Shot clock at 1. Murray has to hoist it, and Murray able to connect from mid-range. Third basket for Jamal Murray.
In this lineup, Dave, it's gonna be Murray's hands. Without Jokic, he's the creator. He's the one they look to, and that's what it broke down a little bit before. But Murray's the one in this unit without Jokic. He's got to drive the car in this second unit.
And he's healthy now. Missed 11 games with a hamstring injury earlier in the year. McCollum no. Rebound Jordan. Nice pass by McCollum, or excuse me, by Murray, and Jordan with the slam. Willie Green again upset with the defense, calls a timeout.
It's too easy.
Yeah, they're taking it to him.
He's been saying, I'm sure he said it at the end of the quarter. He's going to say it again. You just can't get too easy, DeAndre. Been doing it a long time.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen and GoDaddy. Tools and support for every small business first.
Need your attention, please.
Now in theaters.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Jason Statham is taking corruption down.
You are a problem. Damn right, I'm a problem. Come on, bro. Don't move.
The Beekeeper, rated R. Now playing only in theaters.
Boom, boom, boom.
At best. Okay, they got 18 points in the paint and 9 points in transition. 9, that's just too much. Okay, so let's get settled in with our defense. Let's make sure we're communicating. And then down here, it just keeps, we gotta play fast and more pop sharing the ball.
You know what you love about that, Dave, for people that just saw that? When you hear that stuff, watch the players. Watch if they're paying attention to the coach. You'd be shocked how many times the coach is in the huddle. And even the guys that are in the game are looking around, and the guys that aren't in the game, that was a connected huddle. Messaging was great, but the attention of the players, you think NBA players always pay attention in the huddles? That's not true. But these guys were, and that's a tied together team.
Well, both Willie and David Griffin and our conversations with them as Watson gets the block were very complimentary of the chemistry on the team and the buy-in from all the players. And it's showing lately. I mean, right now, they're only 4 games out of first place, and we still got more than half a season to go.
Yeah, and they're doing it on defense, right? We talked about it. It's not a fluke. 7th best defensive efficiency in the league, and that's how you become a contender. That's, you know, they're top 10 in offense. They're 10th, and defense they're 7th. That's what you got to be.
But right now, nobody can stop Jamal Murray with his mid-range game. He's got 9 points, 4 of 8 from the floor. He's got 7 points here in the quarter, and the lead is 14. Good defense. Watson getting the steal and the slam.
He has had a tremendous first half. That last possession, he had a block. He contested C.J. McCollum and a steal here.
Building your online business?
Just great effort. 8 points, hit a couple threes, and that's, I mean, look, can he keep it going? That's the question, the consistency. But what a good stint for Watson.
Daniels with the offensive rebound, fell to the deck, but got it back out. Murphy spot up. Too strong. Here's Porter, gets a good look and throws it. Ingram tried to go through Peyton Watson to get out to Porter. He could not reach him, and the lead is up to 19.
Yeah, they're making
They're taking it to him now.
New Orleans just has to hang in it. Hope some of these shots start going their way. Trey Murphy had a good look last time, just didn't go down.
Well, Michael Malone was hot with his team the other night.
Yep.
He called every timeout, and it was always after poor defense. And he told us it's a big point of emphasis. He knows how tough the schedule is in the dog days. And after this, they've got Indiana at home. Then they go on a 5-game East Coast trip. And they also know, based on the teams behind them, they don't have great margin for error. I mean, they're only a couple games away, a couple losses away from being
working on some of my videos and
the Western
stuff.
Conference is just a monster. But you're right.
Getting ready for the streams tomorrow. How you doing?
This specific game tonight, you could tell talking to him. He doesn't like. They're 3-2 in their last 5. Doesn't love how they're playing. This meant something to him. This game was meaningful, and you could, even when we spoke to him, you could feel that was the message to his team, because New Orleans is playing great. So this game was a benchmark for this Denver Nuggets team.
They have 23 baskets, Denver, only 4 turnovers. They're getting out and running. They're hitting threes. Murray has been owning the mid-range. Valanciunas' turnaround jumper is good. And Valanciunas with his first points after starting 0 for 4. Joker back out there, 5 assists, 11 points in the first quarter. Great hands. Daniels getting the steal. Gives it up. Ingram missed the layup, but he was fouled by Porter.
Yeah, they're going to get back in it, Dave. It's going to be on that side of the ball. So that's a nice job by Daniels. Get something going, get a stop.
Zion ready to check in. Ingram going to the line. 3rd foul on Denver. None yet on New Orleans. Ingram on the season, 82% free throw shooter. He's got 6 points, and he misses the first. Next week, NBA Wednesday, you got last night against Boston. They've got Cleveland 7:30 Eastern, ESPN. And then the Lakers take on the Mavs. They hope to have Luka for that game, battling the right ankle injury. That's an ABC with NBA Countdown tipping things off 7 Eastern on ESPN. Now, Dallas, another team. You talk about how deep the West is, and Kyrie's missed some games. Luka's missed some games, yet they're 23-16. Josh Green has had some good moments.
Yeah, you cannot, you get on a little hot streak, you can make up some ground, but conversely, see, that's tough. That's the one you coaches really get upset about. He was fouling a three-point shooter. But to your point, Dave, you lose a couple and you drop right back down 7, 8, 9, 10. And you just said, what happened? We just lost a few games. The West is probably the tightest. We've talked about this before. Tightest I've ever seen in the last 12, 15 years.
3 free throws for Porter. Ingram committing the foul. That's the first on New Orleans here in the quarter. Michael Porter Jr., who shooting 78% on the year. He's played in every game this year and is a guy that has fought injury throughout not just his NBA career, but going back to when he was in college at Missouri.
Porter's rebounding better, and I think Mike Malone challenged him at some point and said, if we're going to win anything, you got to start guarding. And he has. He's risen to the challenge. He's not an elite defender, but he was poor, and now he's average. And that's, you're not going to be great at everything. He's a great shooter, great offensive player, but his growth defensively is a big part of why this Denver team won it and why they're so good.
Right now, Denver's 10th overall in defensive rating as Valanciunas knocks down the long two. 57-41, Denver leading, 4-minute mark. Jokic keeping his dribble the entire
Dude, Charles, how about you, man?
Jones left Porter, and Porter
welcome.
Still Denver 7 of 13 from 3 in the first half.
Who do you think's going to win?
Valanciunas thought about the 3, instead gives it up. Ingram, the lob. Valanciunas gets deep and scores. 6 quick points for Jonas Valanciunas.
I love Valanciunas' pump fake. It's kind of an underrated thing in the NBA. He used it there. He's pretty good at it, but and he's become a good three-point shooter. That's why he works with Zion. He's a spacing 5.
Year 12 for him out of Lithuania. Former top 5 pick. Jokic going body to body, and then there's that almost 360 turnaround. Normally that's
think the Eagles
going in. Jokic 5 for 9.
Yeah, I haven't been really impressed with the Buccaneers all season.
13 shots, so I guess you could say he's slumping right now.
Yeah, he's falling apart. It's clear. Everybody sees it. He's not shooting 80, 90%, so he's in a rut.
Think about that, 83%.
I have a video that's going to drop in the morning.
Move on Valanciunas. That shooting percentage over the last 7 games, no one has done
Be
in
sure
a
to check it out,
span
man. I'm going to
in 60 years in the
NBA.
NBA. Back to Will.
For all
Sometimes
the
you watch
games
Jokic and
tomorrow.
you literally think he just is playing against a bunch of high school kids or something. He makes it look so easy against NBA players.
He toys with the defense.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's as a passer.
Yeah.
Or just with his ball handling.
Like I said before, he just gets you a great possession on every possession. I mean, Jokic does so much for his teammates. He just simplifies the game. His vision is fantastic. He scores by himself. And does everybody know how good he is? We stopped talking about him. He's amazing.
At 6 assists now for Jokic. He averages over 9 per game, which is good for 3rd in the NBA. Lead is 19. Alvarado hits a 3, the 7th for the Pelicans. We talked earlier about how he's a guy that goes 100 miles an hour. He can also make shots, though, too.
He brings energy, and that should not be taken for granted. Dog days of the season, and he plays hard every night.
Jackson trying to answer, can't from 3. Porter thought he was pushed underneath, did not get the call. Jones in transition goes right at Jokic, and nice finish off the window.
Wow.
Look, New Orleans, they're not going to go away. They may not win this game. They may not get back in it.
New Orleans, they got, down by basically almost 20 points. They're trying to make a comeback. Their defense is not there.
5 points for Jones, who was a second-round pick out of Alabama back in 2021. Jokic spinning and finishing, and Valanciunas puts his head down. I think he thought that Jokic, I don't know if it was inadvertent or if Valanciunas thought.
You know, if it was me, I would have benched Hurts.
The chops that time.
I wouldn't have had him in. You typically, I mean, they were in the playoffs regardless. It wasn't going to matter win or lose.
Old school NBA.
Alvarado drives.
Because then you could win in the playoff game and had healthy players.
2-on-1. Gordon, Caldwell Pope takes it himself and fouled by Jones.
This game's getting crazy,
Inside a
guys.
minute to go here in the second quarter. Denver's already put up 64 and looking for more when we come back.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, yeah, I said the Eagles. I honestly think the Eagles got the best shot on that one. Where you belong. Oh. You don't have to thank me for that, man. That's just my honest opinion. They're reviewing that play right now.
Or at the very end, but the ball was gone.
And it looked like it was all ball with the initial contact. Maybe a little bit to the hand, but not the offhand.
Can I just surrender and not make a call? Like in Vegas when they got like an ace showing, you just give your half, you just take... They take half your money or something?
Given the number of jobs you have right now, I think we just give you another one here. While don't we have some time, let's talk some Commanders football.
All right, let's talk about this replay here. Let's take a good hard look at the replay.
They're looking over the replay.
I'm going to have a good opinion on this. I have many thoughts on this replay challenge. And there's Herb Jones sitting on the bench. Get a good look at Herb Jones.
It's okay.
And there's Jamal Murray spinning the ball.
This is not NFL.
Hey, I'm going to be covering the games tomorrow, Charles. Be sure to be on, man.
But NFL Live wants you to come on tomorrow.
Okay, I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Can we hopefully get a decision here? It's been a quick
let's guess. What do you think?
I'm going to watch all the NFL games.
The challenge is successful. The call's been overturned to a no call. At the time of the whistle, the ball was loose.
That was my guess.
So we're going to jump it up. NA2, center circle. Denver gets charged with the timeout.
I didn't want to interrupt Pat. That was my guess, that it was going to get overturned.
No foul, right. I would have said the same thing. I thought the ball went out of bounds off Denver here, though. They said there was a loose ball at the time of the whistle. Like, yeah, it's still, well, okay. Yeah.
So there was a lot to look at there. They had
these
a lot to
replay
figure
guys,
out.
so everybody watching knows what happens is the head coach will look behind the bench. There's a guy with an iPad. He has to make a decision pretty quick. He gives a thumbs up or a thumbs down to his head coach. And when he gets it wrong, nobody's happy. But that was a tough one. That was a good one by the, we're going to find out who's in charge of the Pelicans replay review.
You know, in the NFL, they have a guy upstairs that's in charge of the challenge flag for the coaches. You should.
That's not super relevant to an NBA game, but.
Oh, how about Jokic with an incredible
Ooh.
pass to Aaron Gordon? Every night.
Man, they're just taking it to him tonight.
Jokic. It's a SportsCenter Top 10 highlight.
How fun would it be to play with that guy? I mean, he just makes it so fun, so unselfish.
Zion attacks. He's missed his last 5 after a hot start, and Jokic blocked it. Jokic running the break, gives it up to Porter for 3. In and out. Williamson rebounds. Plenty of time for New Orleans. He'll slow it down. Nikola Jokic with 7 assists, and he saved his best for last here in the first half.
I think
3 seconds
so.
to
I'll have to go back and look.
McCollum at the buzzer. Good.
Wow,
C.J.
good
McCollum
answer.
drills a 3. And so at halftime,
Man.
it's 66-51 Denver.
And maybe that's a little bit of momentum.
What a halftime
that
score
New
there,
Orleans
guys.
Leads. They're going to get back in this game. I just think they will.
So they'll look at it to make sure that CJ did not have a foot on the line. It was ruled a 3 live. That's his 3rd three-pointer. He's got 11 points, the only Pelican in double figures. So at a halftime coming up, Malika. Wendy is in there. I love Wendy's forecast in the pregame show. Good stuff. Big perk as well.
Replay confirms a successful three-point basket.
And there you go. That's coming up on Toyota Halftime with the confirmed score. 66-51 Denver in front. 8 threes for the Nuggets. Nikola Jokic, 15 points, 7 assists.
Wow.
Magical.
After 51 years, Popeyes is crashing the wings party with 5 flavors.
Makes no sense it took so long. Crispy outside, juicy inside.
Who are you?
We don't make sense. We make chicken. Y'all good?
We make chicken. Popeye's chicken, guys. On Monday, yeah, I could not remember. Yeah, because the game I'm covering tomorrow is the Texans, Cleveland, and Kansas City and the Dolphins. Should be some good games. I'd rather it be a close game and. Turn on some music while it's at halftime, guys. How about them Eagles? You got that right, man. What do you mean by that, Charles? Are you in sports? Are you asking if I'm going to commentate it on Monday? Is that what you're asking, Charles? I just want to make sure you're answering your question the right way. But yeah, I'm going to cover the game. I'm going to cover all the games and live stream the games, kind of similar to what I'm doing now. I'll have game audio as well as me talking through the game. More so that I'm doing NBA. Yeah, I'm not too keen on all the basketball terminology. I love watching it. It's a very exciting game to watch. So, football, I played it, and baseball, I played it, so I'm very familiar with all the terminology, but I didn't play basketball, so I'm not as keen on it, if you know what I mean. Yes, Charles, I am. So what kind of music does everybody like on stream? Let me know in chat. And guys, don't forget, drop a like on the stream while you're here. You do the same, Charles. I appreciate you stopping in. Like I said, I'll be covering every NFL game this weekend here in person, live like I am now. So check them out. I've got the Dolphins and Chiefs game. The live stream link is already up and available, so be sure to turn on that bell notification. The other games, I'm going to put them up kind of as they come on. So, yes, absolutely.
Creating your first video? You should start with the music. Go to artlist.io and get high-quality music and sound effects for any type of video you want to create. For example, let's make it intense. Feeling sexy? Now, epic. Just maybe close the door before you start shooting. Get unlimited downloads, a license that fits all your creative needs, and perfect for every platform. Go to Artlist now and start creating without limits.
Go to motionready.com to add this to your video, and that, and that.
Fire, smoke, 2D. Get it on Motion Array.
Create this in just one click.
MotionArray.com.
Endless sound effects.
Get it on Motion Array. We need the best music for this video.
Get it on Motion Array.
Go to Motion Array now to get everything you need to create stunning videos.
For a minute.
it ahead, and they get a basket on the other end.
And with more on the Joker, here's Katie.
You know, Dave, Michael Malone says he
They are
wishes
back.
people and fans could get a real sense of who Nikola Jokic is. He's a very private person, so he's hard to get to know. But Malone says the most amazing thing about him, through all the successes, the MVPs, the championship, the money, at his core, he has never changed. Malone says that's a rarity in this business. Jokic is the same guy he was 9 years ago when he arrived in Denver, and that's what's helped cultivate such a good culture here as well. Right on cue, guys.
Perfect. Did we tell Jokic, you got to score here, we're going to talk about you, so make us look good. Good.
You had a guy in Golden State that was like that, right? That pretty much the same guy, although a lot more famous than he was maybe 20 years ago. But
you're talking about the point guard, Mr.
about
Curry.
your point guard.
There
Yes.
you go. Yeah. No, look, it's so hard to be normal and decent when famous and the money and the expectations and the pressure. But I think Jokic he's a great example of trying to stay normal with all the accolades, with all the attention. And I think Malone's right, and Katie's right. I wish people did know him better. I wish he let us know him a little better.
Porter drills a three. That's 9 3-pointers for Denver. And the lead is up to 20 now for the Nuggets. That's their largest lead of the game. A foul on the other end.
I think they came out with a purpose. And, again, you could feel it talking to Coach Malone before the game. They came off a bad loss the game you were at. You said it just wasn't the regular Denver team. And this is how you want to respond as a champion. You come back home and you right the ship immediately after a bad loss.
This is also a time where Zion Williamson has to get going, right? And he got up to a great start, but then
they're down
he's
20
missed his last
points
6
though.
shots.
He's got Aaron Gordon's. He's a good defender, good matchup for Zion. And Zion's, he's just trying to close the gap. They're not respecting the shot, and he's just running right into traffic and not being able to do what he did early in this game.
Valanciunas again, body to body against Jokic. Two heavyweights going at it. Valanciunas comes up short. That's good defense there by Jokic. Caldwell Pope flips it to Porter. Collects, fires, connects on the three.
And it like froze up. Come on, Hulu. What is it doing?
Everything we build is
Just back. You decided to like freeze up for a second. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
Challenging is that when you're trying to evaluate
Got
somebody
the
of that
audio back on?
talent that
Here,
does
they're
have
back.
an injury history.
It's hard because they got a foul right before it looks like.
Nope, shot clock violation.
Yeah, it's tough because you gotta defer to your medical. They're going to talk about this. You got to defer to your medical staff, and there's certain guys that just get red flagged, and it happens in every sport. And you're spending a lottery pick, and there's a concern, and the biggest fear is you spend the 14th pick, which I think he was.
Yep.
On a guy that can't play. It's devastating. And credit Denver. I think Tim Conley was there at the time. A lot of people didn't like that.
He's under review.
Didn't like that
see
pick.
if it beat the shot clock.
They're checking out, I think, if it.
Yeah, if the foul happened before the shot clock.
Right.
One official had it that the foul occurred before the shot clock expired. The other said no.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Yeah. Oh boy, that's close. It might be. That might have been before.
That's hard to tell, really.
This is our third review. This is the first official review. The other two were, or no, it's our fourth review. Second official review. The other two were coaches' reviews. Keep an eye on the shot clock there. It's.
I think it's a violation. Yeah, no foul.
No foul. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's. Here we go.
The shot clock violation happened first prior to the foul.
All right. Got something right. One thing. Yeah, no, it's just, that's why this Denver, if you're just evaluating the West, Dave, and you look at the starters of every team, I do think this Denver team has the best starting five in the West. Partly because they play together, partly because they fit together, partly because of that guy who's that guy at the bottom, the two-time executive of the year, the guy that's talking. Partly because I'm saying it. No, no, partly because they got Jokic. Obviously, he's the best, if not one of the best players in the NBA. But they put good guys around him. That's the thing. People watching. Sometimes you're lucky to get a great player. I had one in Curry, but it's also how do you help them do the biggest thing that they're trying to do, which is win a championship. And Denver's done that. Now the question is the bench, like we talked about. It's the bench.
And obviously the challenge of trying to repeat as Herb Jones hits. Only 4 teams won their first 2 championships as an organization consecutively, and it hasn't happened since the Houston Rockets 1994-95.
Yeah, the psychological, the short off season, just being the hunted as opposed to the hunter. It's psychological, but it matters. It affects how you move, affects how you play, affects the expectations. This is a good early look at that. See, the question is that's can they get him on the block that close to the basket? He's almost unstoppable. So we'll see if they go back to that action and give Zion try a deep catch there. He can do anything he wants when he catches it that deep.
It's his first made basket since early in the first quarter. He made 3 early shots and then went 0 for 6. Jokic fouled on the other end. He'll go to the line for the first time tonight. It's on Valanciunas, his first team foul.
Yeah, he's such a tough cover. I mean, Jokic, even on that, he does the Euro step, and he's got the 3-ball, he's got the mid-range, he's got the little jump hooks, he can pass out everything. I mean, what big guy brings it up too? He brings it up the floor.
Take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule on TNT on MLK Day. You got Spurs Atlanta, followed by the Warriors in Memphis. Then Wednesday on ESPN, Bucks Cavs. On ABC, Mavs Lakers. For more, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Bob, I want to go back to something we were talking about actually before the broadcast and haven't had a chance to go there. You were talking about going against LeBron James in the playoffs and comparing that to defending Nikola Jokic in a playoff series.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would not compare those players at all. They would say they have nothing in common. But what I would tell you is, just from what I watch, there's 2 players. There's obviously LeBron's been doing it forever, but now Jokic, who gets you a good possession in the half court every single time. Look at right here, simple stuff. He's going to get the dribble handoff. He'll give it back to him. You just know it's going to end up most likely with something good. He just finds his guys. He knows where to go. He brings the ball up the court, and it's just a luxury. And that's where most teams don't have a guy like that.
Gordon missed the 3 with the shot clock winding down. Caldwell Pope couldn't get the tip. And we really saw that on display in the conference finals and the NBA finals last year.
Yeah, as you get deeper and deeper into the playoffs, it gets harder and harder to score. I mean, you're not giving up layups, transition baskets. It's just not happening. So how do you score? I mean, that's the Murray-Jokic pick and roll. They're going to do that quite a bit. We talked to Michael Malone. It does work. He'd like to have some other options. But again, Jokic can get you a great possession almost every single time in the half court.
Meanwhile, New Orleans on a 10-2 run. Here's Jokic in the middle of the lane.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, we could keep talking about it, but that's just automatic for him. And now, by playing with him as much as he has, Aaron Gordon knows exactly what Jokic is going to do.
That's 9 assists now for Jokic, and then a foul on Jamal Murray trying to hang with Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, here we go. Murray. This starts again. Jokic, he's dangerous from everywhere. Gordon knows if I cut, he'll find me. And been doing it a long time now. This group is a great group. They know each other, and that's why they're so tough.
He's only played 20 minutes, Jokic. He's got 19 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. Here's Zion missing. Valanciunas fouled from behind by Jokic, who is saying, I blocked it, challenge it. They already challenged once and won the challenge on a Jokic phantom foul in the first 3 minutes, but I don't think Michael Malone will spend his second challenge, earned because he won his first on this particular play with this much time left in the third.
It's funny, you know, it's so hard to have that discipline when your star players yelling over at the bench, challenge. You feel like if you don't believe in him, you know, but then you realize some of the time these guys are completely wrong, you know.
Well,
I'm sure
they do not like that.
Come to you, hey, you need to draft this guy, Bob. He's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'd say when you're a GM, you can draft whoever you want. Yeah, that's a foul.
On the follow-through.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that. I mean, anybody that's played basketball knows you get hit on the elbow. But it's funny when how demonstrative some of these guys are.
And hangs on the rim forever. Valanciunas holding the follow-through all the way back across midcourt.
I mean, this is a moment in the game here. Down 14 feels like a lot. New Orleans is a couple stops, try to get back in it.
Caldwell Pope swishing it through from mid-range. Just the second field goal for Kentavious Caldwell Pope. Meanwhile, Valanciunas has the last 7 points for New Orleans. He goes at Jokic, and they call Jokic for his third foul.
Ooh.
That
third foul is,
you know.
Look at a little bit of game left. They don't want to foul him out.
They're going to look and oh yeah, the right arm, Yeah, I mean, New Orleans is hanging around. They're just hanging around. They got to get stops though. Denver's still shooting 60%. You just can't. You got to find some way to string together some stops on the other side.
3 fouls on Jokic, as we mentioned, all coming here this quarter in the first 5 minutes. Valanciunas gets the bounce. Obviously, Williamson, McCollum, Ingram get the headlines, but Valanciunas is a very valuable player on this.
Yeah, he is, and they're better with him. He's playing great. But, you know, you talk about Zion. I just wish you felt him a little bit more in the game, if that makes sense. You just feel his impact because he's pretty passive at times. You know, you'd like him to be a little bit more aggressive, attacking. He's so good at it, but that's the next step for him. Obviously, making a 3-ball and getting people to respect him out there, but just being more aggressive on the offensive side.
79-65 Denver. Murray a little shaken up after the contact with Jones. Jumper by Jokic is good. Jokic 9 of 13 now from the floor, 21 points.
He makes bad possessions look good. It's the mark of a great player.
25 points per game on the year for Jokic, 15th in the league. Valanciunas, late whistle by Pat Frere. The Pelicans were in transition. They're actually going to call it on Gordon. They're not even going to call it on Jokic.
Yeah, and Gordon raises his hand and says, yeah, I did it.
Either that or he just doesn't want Jokic to get his 4th, so Gordon puts his hand up.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I mean, it's... No, that's Gordon. That's Gordon. I mean, it looks like it's Gordon.
Just took a while to get the signal.
Yeah, that's on Gordon. I think Coach Malone's making sure they get it right because you said that would have been Jokic's 4th.
It is going to be interesting as the season goes on. If Denver ends up having the best record in the West again, how the voters look at Nikola Jokic's season, because the rebounding numbers, the assist numbers, they're there again. The scoring's down a little bit, and you just wonder with some of the other guys out there and the number of games that are being played now by the star players, who all's going to be in the mix. Right now, who knows if Joel Embiid's even going to get to that 65 games played mark to even be eligible.
Yeah, well, I think Embiid's playing better than anybody, but you're right. I mean, if he's not in the mix, then I think it's Jokic. I mean, it's not. I don't know what the problem is with it. I mean, he's clearly deserving and earns it, but when if Embiid stays healthy, he's the competition, I think.
Caldwell Pope's three, no good. Gilgeous Alexander's had a great year. Oklahoma City's got a great record as Caldwell Pope hits a three. That's the 10th three-pointer for Denver. A lead back to 17.
You're right. Shai Gilgeous is here we go.
Zion taking off.
You know, just catching it in that space. He's so dangerous. They can try to get him the ball there a little bit more.
Jokic trying to spin baseline, and Valanciunas then goes right at him. They don't blow the whistle. Jokic clearing space, gets the dunk.
And a technical, I think they got Valanciunas.
That's a flop technical.
Wow, I mean, was that a flop? I don't know if it was a foul. But
it was a flop.
Here we go. We're going to see it. I mean, did he flop?
I mean,
I don't know.
There's contact.
I know.
If you don't want to call a foul, I understand that.
I know. I agree.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's a flop from Valanciunas.
You know, I guess what they say, it's exaggerated contact. I mean, that's like you said. I mean, don't call a foul. I've seen a lot worse flops than that. I'll tell you that. He extended the arm a little bit, you know. It's I like to see these big guys.
He might have sold it a little bit, but selling doesn't mean flopping.
Right. I think that's the distinction. It's like old school basketball. These guys just, banging each other. We don't get to see that anymore.
No, you're right. Two 7-footers who are similar in terms of their body types. As Valanciunas just shoved Jokic out of the way.
Yeah, getting a little chippy here.
Getting a little chippy. It's getting a little nipply.
Second foul on Valanciunas.
Here we go. These big guys have seen too much of each other in this third. Too much banging bodies. They're getting tired of each other. See, that could have been a flop too, right?
That angle was hard to tell.
Yeah, right.
From our angle, it looked more like a shove from Valanciunas. So 5 combined fouls between the two bigs here this quarter, Valanciunas and Jokic. Caldwell Pope no good on the 3-ball. Ingram tracks it down. It's been a quiet night for Ingram. 7 points for him. McCollum walking into the 3. It won't fall. Now, Ingram, the last 5 games, he's been under 15 points per game. That's unusual for him to have that kind of a stretch. They've been winning, though. But tonight, will they count that?
Wow.
Yep, count the basket, and 1 for Aaron Gordon. As Jones commits the foul.
That was a heck of a finish there by Gordon, sticking with the play, fighting through contact. I don't know if it was a travel, but...
And when did the foul take place? If that's continuation, are you saying it's continuation based on initial contact?
Boom, 2, 3. I don't know how many
4 steps.
Yeah, I think he was surprised they counted it, but yeah, you could make an argument for a travel. See, Aaron Gordon, like 10 points, 5 rebounds. It just feels like he's impacted the game more. I mean, maybe that's what we're watching on defense, but he's a huge part of this team. That was another great trade, getting him on this roster.
Good to see him back, too. He had a scary moment there. He, got into it with his dog. He recently spoke about it. Took some serious bites to his hand and face. He said, I had too much eggnog on Christmas, started wrestling around with my dog, and
hang on a second. What is the story with eggnog? I mean, what do you need? Can you get tip? How much? Are you an expert in eggnog?
No, I'm not.
Do you know anything about eggnog? I'm not good at eggnog.
So
but there's alcohol? What is it?
There is alcohol. You're saying this was not part of the championship drink of the Golden State Warriors, is what you're saying.
I'm just not an eggnog partaker. I don't know. I'm curious. Eggnog.
I think it's a euphemism. I'm not sure he meant literally.
No, I know. I have real questions about
it. He's at the line right now. He's got 10 points, 5 rebounds.
Eggnog.
Coming up next week, we have a couple of great NBA Wednesday games for you on ESPN. It is the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then you got on ABC, the Lakers and the Mavs. NBA Countdown tips us off 7 Eastern, ESPN. We talked a little Lakers in the first half. I want to get your take on the Bucks because they've been up and down, but you look at the standings and they're right there. They're second in the East, 3 games back of Boston.
Yeah, look, offensively they're better, but defensively they just haven't figured out what they've been so good at for so long. It's not just Holiday. You know, you could take Drew Holiday off the team, but it's been a pretty decent-sized drop, and I think they're still working through that. And it looks a little disjointed at times with Milwaukee. Now, I still love that Giannis Lillard pick and roll come playoff time, and I think it sometimes takes some time, but I actually thought the defense would be a little bit better than it's been.
Meanwhile, another gorgeous pass by Jokic, his 11th assist, and Gordon the beneficiary. 4-minute mark, lead back to 19, open 3, Marshall, and he's unable to hit.
It's this New Orleans team, we talked about it being deep, but in a game like this, not having that one guy that you know can take over, that's the New Orleans, that's the one fatal flaw. Do they have that one guy? They've got a lot of really good players, but do they have a great player? And that's the question with the Pelicans.
Going back to your comment on Jokic and what he does for you in the playoffs, who's going to be that guy for the Pelicans in a playoff series? Jokic with the offensive rebound and assist number 12. Timeout New Orleans as the lead is back up to 21 for Jokic in Denver.
Yeah, that's Willie Green not happy. Another extra effort play. Nobody there. Easy bucket for Porter.
Bum, 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 bum. Ooh. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? They come for you.
Just thinking,
my bad.
you know,
Because the game audio's
pretty
on.
good at expressing himself on the court.
I'm gonna get all this stuff done here.
Think if you were in a pickup game, where would you pick Jokic? If you didn't know anything, you wouldn't take him.
Well, in the pickup games I played, and he was a foot taller than everybody else. So,
oh man, he's so good.
Probably pick him first.
Yeah.
Marshall. Well, what did you guys think of him coming out? I mean,
we didn't think of him. It was a total miss. I mean, you know, what do you want me to do?
Was it a total miss? I mean, what did you?
We didn't really talk. I mean, I think he was on the board, but it wasn't like we studied him intensely. This guy's getting better, though. Watson's getting better. No, I think it's a heck of a pick. That's all I can say.
Well, it wasn't just you guys. The whole league did not think much of him. And when you're picked in the second round, that kind of tells you all you need to know. Why do you think everybody missed on him?
I think he wasn't, you know, he hadn't become him yet. I think, you know, he probably unfairly, people judged him on appearance. I mean, they just did. They didn't think he could do these things in the NBA. There was a time they also had Nurkic and Jokic.
Right.
Remember that early?
Yes.
And everybody thought Nurkic was so much better than Jokic. And so I guess I feel a little bit better that it wasn't even a close call, that it was just not even close. So I don't have a memory of debating Jokic in the draft. I wish I did.
And Nurkic was a mid-first round pick. Jokic was a mid-second round pick. And then they eventually moved Nurkic to Portland. And then Jokic became the hub of the offense and one of the best players in the game. Maybe the best player in the game.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you miss guys, Dave.
Well, again, you were not the only one in defense of
they hurt
your
though.
track
They hurt
record.
though. I tell you what, they hurt. Because you know what? If you get that right, look what he did for this franchise. I mean, that's the thing about the draft. I mean, if whoever had drafted Jokic, whatever team, you'd probably have a championship right now. And he was picked second round, you know, middle. So that's why you kick yourself. Doesn't happen that often that a guy like that becomes MVP of the league. I mean, I don't know if it's ever happened.
A lot of credit to the coaching staff developing, getting the most out of him.
Yep.
Brown penetrates, offensive foul. And if Jokic is a warrior, who's not a warrior? That's the other thing, right? You'd have had to.
If Jokic was a warrior, man, I mean, with those guys, oh my goodness gracious. I don't know. I might have gone to Hawaii for the whole season. Said, let me know when the playoffs start. I mean, Jokic is a warrior? Oh, boy.
Zion misses the shot. Rebound, Jamal Murray. Looking to run. Here's Brown. Hangs. And he was fouled. And Brown, an awkward landing.
They call a foul here? Because they.
Yes.
Okay.
It's on Nance first. So Brown will try to walk it off.
The question was Zion, you know, he doesn't trust his shot, doesn't have a shot. That makes it so hard. Giannis has found a way to be super effective by taking up the space you give him, but he's also 3-4 inches bigger and 4 or 5 inches longer, so he can do it. Question with Zion is, if you give him that space and he drives into traffic, what happens then, right? And so the thing he has to do is at some point in his career, he's got to get an outside shot. He really does. Take a whole summer, take 2 summers. It'll change everything for him.
He's taken 9 threes all year and made 3. I remember doing his first game, and he didn't do anything in the first half, and in the second half he comes out and he hits 4 straight threes, and you thought, okay, maybe this is going to be part of his game, and he just never felt confident, I guess.
But it's such a big. Players can develop it as they move along in their career. It can happen. But you know, you got to really put in all the work.
Reggie Jackson drills a 3 that answers Nance's 3, and the lead back to 18. 30 seconds to go here in the quarter. Alvarado gets deep, missed the layup. Brown taps it out, and about a half-second difference between the game and shot clocks here at the end of the third.
Every time New Orleans is making a little bit of a push, Denver has responded and just shut the door.
Five seconds to go. Williamson on Jackson with a second left. Floater is good from Reggie Jackson. What a sweet move. against Zion Williamson.
Tough shot.
And the lead back to 20, 100-80. Denver in front.
Well, here's the big boys going at it. This was a flop here, and this is Valanciunas couldn't believe it.
Easy dunk.
Taco Bell, the Warriors facing the Bulls. This is the mid-fourth quarter. The Warriors, they're up by 19 at this point. This is what Steph does.
I'd cover him.
Yeah. I see that wide open. Is that a practice shot?
What's they say? Steph's gonna Steph. The Warriors get the much-needed win, 140-131. Let's get you back to the Mile High City.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
pretzel bun? On the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
Whoa, the new iPhone 15. With that amazing camera, I wish my family had them.
Zoe, you're an action star. Take action. Join T-Mobile and get 4 new iPhone 15s on them and 4 lines for $25 a line.
With that camera, I'll be sharing pics from the slopes.
You do not want to see yourself skiing.
Yeah, I'm good at skiing. Your stunt woman is.
Get to T-Mobile now and get 4 new iPhone 15s on us and 4 lines of unlimited for $25 a line.
What do you think of the jacket? You look like a polar bear.
Here at Papa John's, we know our stuff.
So try our
Guys, be
newest
sure to hit
cheesy
that like
calzone
button,
epic
guys.
stuffed crust pizza, made with a blend of ricotta and mozzarella, hand stuffed into that Papa John's fresh, never frozen, original dough. Get it for a limited time only at Papa John's.
Welcome back to NBA
I'll be
Friday
right back,
on ESPN, presented by State Farm. Dave Pash, Bob Myers, Katie George. Denver with a nice bounce back after a brutal loss in Utah where they trailed by 23, really struggled on the defensive end. Much better defensive performance tonight, and the offense has been off the charts. 60% shooting for most of the game for Denver, and right around 46% from 3. C.J. McCollum fouled here as New Orleans trying to make one last push. This is a team that can score coming into tonight. 274 points over a 2-game span on the road against Sacramento and Golden State. They're certainly capable. We'll see if they can pull it off.
Yeah, but look, Denver came in with a purpose. You've seen their last 2 games. This is a different team than the one you saw in Utah. Good teams, great teams, don't play 2 bad games in a row usually. You know, especially when they're healthy. If you're not healthy, it's different. But you knew coming off that game, you just saw they were going to come bring it. You know, in a conference game against a good team.
And Michael Malone, in our conversation with him before the game, pointed to the schedule, knowing how difficult the schedule is. Said, I get it. We had a long summer. We've had a good start to the season. We have a great roster, but as a championship team, we need to be better, especially during this stretch, which are the dog days between now and the All-Star break.
Yeah, and you saw, again, you said he used more timeouts in that game at Utah. He was upset.
Yep.
And so, it's, like I said, the message got through tonight.
Jokic leading the way with 23 points, 12 assists, and 8 rebounds. He's 2 boards shy of his 12th triple-double. Jamal Murray from deep. That's his second 3-ball.
That's just good offense. I mean, Nance and him. Oh, here we go, Murphy. Look, Murray too. I mean, that guy. We talk about Jokic so much, but talk about a Robin to the Batman. He doesn't get enough credit. I mean, this is a possible shot. Good defense by Nance. Got the hand up. That's just, you know what? That's what maximum players should do, right? He makes the big bucks, make the big shots.
With the All-Star voting coming up, he's another one that's going to be interesting to watch because of the games missed. Now, with it missed 10, 13 games, but now, and credit Adam Silver, great job by the league to cut down on that with obviously the penalties for sitting guys and also the threshold you have to get to be eligible for the awards. It's forcing organizations to play their guys. I think Murray under normal circumstances might be an all-star, but it's hard this year with the number of games missed as Zion scores and is fouled.
Yeah, I believe that too. I mean, but you know what's great about the player participation? It's working, right? I mean, you're seeing guys, it's a pretty big drastic turnaround from guys that are wanting to play. And I don't think it's just, hey, I want to win these awards or I want to be eligible. I think there's just the narrative has changed. It's kind of like once the stars decide we're playing.
Yeah.
And you look around, there was like an anti-peer pressure. There was a status symbol to sitting out, and that's over with. And that's a great thing for the league.
In-season tournament helped that. It just seemed like all the regular season games in October, November were that much more meaningful, even if they weren't in-season tournament games because of the in-season tournament.
I completely agree. And it's, look, they've said there's no correlation, and that's great. I mean, get the best players playing, and that's what fans want to see. That's what we want to see.
Right, no correlation to guys sitting, and somehow that makes them healthier over the course of a season. Turnover by New Orleans, 103-86 Denver, 2 minutes into the fourth quarter.
What I didn't like is you'd see young guys, Dave, coming in the league, expecting to get rest. 21 and 22 years old. It was like a status symbol because they'd see some of the stars get it, and it was kind of like a club. If I'm in a club where they're going to rest me, then I'm kind of made it, so to speak. And to see young guys coming now, don't expose them to any of that. Expose guys to there's a assumption, a healthy one. You're going to play every game. You're going to play every game unless you're hurt. And I think that's what's happening. It's permeating the league, and it's working.
I had not heard that before. So there actually was a mindset among some young guys.
Nobody said it, but it was unsaid. I should say it was unsaid.
Shot clock at 7. They go to Zion, 14 points. Make it 16 as Williamson's starting to get going, and Michael Malone sensing that calls a timeout. A 7-0 run by the Pelicans, but they're still down 15.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I wouldn't trade this for anything.
Trades, they work out sometimes. There's so many places to see, like Los Angeles, Houston, OKC, Phoenix, and the Bay.
We love our new house. We just have questions.
Oh, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent can help you through all the unexpected moments.
I wish Bora Bora had a team.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What if all I do for my type 2 diabetes isn't enough? Or what if?
Once weekly Mounjaro could help. Mounjaro helps your body regulate blood sugar and can help you eat less food. 3 out of 4 people reached an A1C of less than 7%. Plus, people lost up to 25 pounds. Mounjaro is not for people with type 1 diabetes or children. Don't take Mounjaro if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Mounjaro and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, vision changes, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis and gallbladder problems. Taking Mounjaro with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Tell your doctor if you are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can cause dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I can do diabetes differently with Mounjaro.
Ask your doctor about once-weekly Mounjaro.
KFC's 2 for $5 wraps now has 5 flavors. There's classic, spicy slaw, new honey barbecue.
Guys,
new
it's
mac
a
and cheese,
cold
and new spicy mac and
weekend
cheese. The choice
here
is
in
yours.
the U.S.
Plus, add a free wrap
Central
in the KFC
U.S.
app.
So
It's finger licking good.
be sure you guys stay warm and tell somebody you love them too.
Doors can take us to new adventures and long-term goals. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by helping you create a comprehensive wealth plan with the right balance of risk and reward. Doors were meant to be opened.
Hey, can I get a Virginia?
A what?
Morning,
Heine.
The green one?
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
Baconator on a pretzel bun? Oh!
Posters everywhere.
I don't know.
What? The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
I like pretzels, but I don't know if I'd like it on a
New Orleans,
hamburger.
But still, Nikola Jokic ruling the court, brought to you by Burger King.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's probably one of the easiest ones he gets. But you know, another one, you can't let him do that. I mean, now this stuff, that's tougher, but it's still easy for him. That's a fun one for him. Him and Valanciunas were kind of going back and forth, but he doesn't matter though. I mean, those were easy shots, but you could have put up shots of him shooting over people and making hook shots. So he's still efficient even when it's difficult.
So Jokic is 10 of 14 from the field tonight as Brown misses a 3. Over the last 8 games, see if my Syracuse math is good, 72 of 89 from the floor.
Yeah, that's
72
not bad.
of 89.
That's not bad. That's okay, right?
Your glorious.
What percentage Syracuse math?
That I can't give you. You got a calculator? Then
No, you said Syracuse.
DeAndre Jordan with the slam. I'm told it's just over 80%.
Okay, there you go. We got it. Yeah, 80% from the field. I don't know what to think of that. I mean, it's just it's Nikola Jokic, you know.
Nance drills a 3.
More teams.
Yeah, they're not done. 8.5 to go.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, you see these huge swings in the NBA now. It's 3-point shots, the pace of the game. And you can get back in it. You know, it's really about getting a stop on this side of the ball.
And that's been the problem tonight for New Orleans. They came in number 7 in the NBA in defensive rating. But Denver shooting 56%, 43% from 3. Brown. And there's Jordan, got the offensive rebound and the nice pass. Boy, good minutes for DeAndre Jordan off the bench in the 4th.
Yeah, like you said, Malone picked certain matchups for him, and this is one of them, and he's giving him some good minutes.
Zion hangs, count it, and 1. But going back to your point, you want to see that more often, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the consistency we talked about during the break. What's the ceiling of this New Orleans team? And then this is the ceiling right here. I mean, if this guy can consistently do that, put so much pressure on the basket, he is getting in better shape. I just think that you don't like. Some might say the game's out of reach. He's still playing really hard, and that's a good sign too. And they said he's been the 2nd hardest worker on the team since the in-season tournament. I think he was a little bit, you know, some of the things people said about him upset him in that in-season tournament.
Checking with Katie for more.
No, I just thought it was interesting. You know, when he got into the league, they have, you know, different analytical systems where they measure their output and energy and different metrics throughout practices, shoot-arounds, games. And they said that he was at the bottom of the barrel early on in his career. And Bob, to your point, as of late, he's been the second hardest worker in terms of his analytical metric output lately. That's exactly what they need from him, and they need more of it, quite frankly, if they want to be contenders and make the playoffs and make a deep run come into season.
Well, he's got 7 points in the quarter, but again, it's been hard for them to get stops. Williamson fouled again, but Murray connects on the 13-3 for Denver, and Murray's third on the last possession. And now Gordon commits a foul, his third, and so Williamson with a chance to get the lead cut to 14.
Yeah, I mean, that is, you know, you hear the coaches say he's the second hardest worker. You hear the analytics say there's not much to argue with. So that they're seeing, and the numbers are saying that.
Missed the front end. Coming up next on SportsCenter, the Warriors looking to bounce back after giving up 141 to the Pelicans the other night, and things did go well for Golden State. We'll have that. Also, some new coaching hires. And also, what does Alabama do next? Well, they hired Kalen DeBoer. Patriots.
That's a big hire.
Gerard Mayo, who had been on the staff. Also, preview of Super Wild Card Weekend. Still some available jobs out there.
NBA, I think all the coaches are just safe, and I don't know. People don't even know what we're talking about.
I think they do.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
As it was announced this week that you're involved in the search committee for the new general manager and head coach of the Washington Commanders, as Jokic thought that should have counted, but no goaltending.
It's an athlete coming down right here, and Zion's engaged in this game. I mean, I just wish he would have come with this energy a little bit in the meat of the game, but he's bringing an energy now. Obviously, Jokic thought it was a goaltend. I couldn't. I thought it was pretty close.
Looked like he actually got it. Porter had to put it up there because the shot clock was at 0.6 of a second on the inbound, and now it's a shot clock violation. Big possession here, big stretch for New Orleans.
I agree. I mean, look, 7 minutes to go. You cut it to 10 with. You know, you get a couple stops. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, it's not a, like I said, 10 points in the NBA now. That could be a minute, 2 minutes. You make that up.
Yeah. Starters back on the floor for Denver. Valanciunas wanted to hoist it, but then didn't let it fly. Murphy missed the long two. Rebound Jokic. That's 9 rebounds. He's 1 board shy of a triple-double. A kickball here by Daniels. Only 1 triple-double in the last 13 games for Nikola Jokic. For a mere mortal, that's normal, but for him, that's a significant period of time with only 1 triple-double.
Yeah, but you look at his stats; he's pretty much averaging a triple-double. Right. I mean, he's if he doesn't get it, he's always right on the cusp of it. So it's pretty amazing.
26, 12, and 9 assists per game on the season. Fade away, Murray, no good. And Valanciunas rips it away from Porter. Almost threw it away there, trying to hit Zion. Midway point of the fourth. Denver with a 15-point lead. Williamson attacking and scoring, and that's 22 points now. He leads the team in scoring.
I mean, we've watched this whole game together. It's just a different, right now in the last 5 minutes, somebody said something to him, but he is attacking and getting what he wants.
Got 10 points this quarter. Jokic fouled by Valanciunas. And he'll go to the line. Just 2 free throw attempts for
Isaiah,
Jokic
I'm
in the
sorry,
game.
I just now saw your message.
You know, the best guy ever to play, maybe Michael Jordan.
You were asleep?
Whenever the game was in a position where he felt like it was getting away,
yeah, I'm going to be
he'd always say, "We're
get
going
to bed here
to
in a
get
little
fouled
bit
in
as
this
well.
position.
Working on these picks videos are going to drop in the morning.
You know, he feels the game a little differently. He says, "I'm going to go get fouled. I'm going to get to the basket. I'm going to get us something good." And those are the best players in the world. That's what they can do.
It's interesting. We were talking with Michael Malone the other night actually about, you know, does Jokic ever say anything going into a game like, hey, this is a night where I'm going to be a facilitator, or this is a night I know I'm going to have to take 20 shots. Coach Malone said no. He actually does it based on how the game goes. It's all on a feel. In rhythm as the game is going on determines what type of night he's going to have.
He has the body of a center, and he's got a brain of a point guard. I mean, he really does. I mean, he could. If he was built different, he'd be a point guard. I mean, he sees his vision, his hands, it's passing.
Williamson going right at him, draws the foul, missed the shot, but it'll go to the line. That's 4 on Jokic.
I would give it to Zion Williamson every time down right now. Why not? You're down 15. You know, he wants it, looks like. Clear the court. get that switch. They're setting that screen with Valanciunas, trying to get Jokic on the switch. He's getting attacking down. He's getting fouled every possession. I mean, it's pretty efficient what he's doing.
And the officials beckoning for the Pelicans to stop huddling over on the sideline with Willie Green to get lined up for the free throws. Well, Zion Williamson, this is game number 32. Last year he played only 29 games and obviously missed all of 2022 with that right foot injury. The hamstring was the problem last year. Remember, he didn't play after January 2nd.
Yeah.
But this year he's missed only 2 games due to injury.
Which is great, right? That's the way to get a rhythm. You can't get a rhythm when you're out 15 games or missing half a season. But if he just keeps playing, like I said, Dave Griffin, their GM, said, give it 2 more weeks. You're going to see maybe the peak Zion. You know, he's almost there. He's getting there.
Here's Katie with more.
Yeah, that's exactly what C.J. McCollum said this morning. He said health matters. It matters for game planning, practice, camaraderie, chemistry, execution. You got to be used to playing with the guys to get the results that you want. He said, heck of a play by Porter. He said this team has been consistent for over a month now. Obviously not their best tonight, but McCollum says they're finally starting to find that rhythm as a collective group, and it's helped greatly.
Problem is on the defensive end, they're not getting stops, they're not blocking out as Porter soars in there to get the dunk.
Yeah, offensive rebounds. It just seems like every time, you know, here we go. And I think this is Zion's box out. I mean, I do. Porter comes in from the wing, and, you know, again, you're trying to get momentum. Those offensive rebounds just kill you. And there's been about 4 or 5 possessions. There it is, the second chance points. I mean, 16-4.
And Porter's had a big game. He's got 20 points after not being really assertive in the last couple games. Going to the glass tonight. Williamson again on the move. Missed it the first time, and then Porter able to take it away.
You know what, though? Sometimes, Dave, in games like this, you find something, right? You find something. Player gets a little confidence. You find something. You go, maybe with Zion, you know, they can find it. And the problem, again, this whole game, it's been the defense. It's really been New Orleans defense.
New Orleans has a back-to-back. They go to Dallas tomorrow, and then they play Dallas again on the road on Monday. They've won 7 in a row on the road. The franchise record is 8. It does not look like they're going to get there. Williamson has 24 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. He only averages 6 rebounds per game. Shot clock at 5. Jokic launches, and a shot clock violation.
Mike Malone wants the foul there. I mean, he can't have an argument. He was some Valanciunas hard closeout, but it's can't have it all, Jokic.
Denver still leading by 15, but only 14 points scored this quarter for Denver as Jamal Murray got run over that time accidentally. Missing a 3 is Murphy. Valanciunas threw it off of Gordon to save it. Oh, Murphy just 2 for 6 from 3-point range tonight.
Yeah, this is you know they had that 7-game winning streak on the road, and they just got caught here. They caught with a Denver team coming off a bad loss, trying to kind of get back on track. And Denver, this is a statement game. Denver wanted to make sure they said, you're not coming for the West. Let's remind you why we're the champions. And I got the wave. Look at the wave. Look at that.
They have that usually in football stadiums, but
have you seen that much? I haven't seen a lot of waves.
Not an NBA arena. It's been a while. Little extra time needed here to get some perspiration off the floor.
I haven't seen a wave in a while. I've never seen it in football. They've been doing that a lot at the football games, huh?
I hear FedEx Field has great waves.
Do they? Well, that's
terrific waves.
Huge. People love waves.
Here's Zion with the slam. Williamson up to 26 points now. And New Orleans still hanging around, down 13.
Yeah, look, again, we've said it so many times. You get a stop and get the rebound. You can't, you know, they've gotten some stops in these moments, right here in these moments, down 13, down 12, whatever. They get the stop and they don't get the rebound.
Denver's plus 11 on the glass. By the way, Zion has 14 points in the quarter, 26 for the game. Jokic drills it, giving him 27 points on the night and a Denver timeout.
Dude is going off.
Every time he shoots, you think it's going in. You know, it's just a soft touch.
Bold.
Bold and juicy. You rule.
Lift every voice.
Honoring the great Dr. Martin Luther King, the NBA celebrating Martin Luther King Jr.'s pursuit of racial, social, and economic justice. The time is always right to do what is right. To learn more, visit nba.com/MLK.
It's such a great tradition, the Martin Luther King games, and play them all day long. And it's great to just celebrate him on that Monday.
That's Bob Myers. I'm Dave Pasch. Katie George with us as well. 116-101. Denver leading New Orleans. 3:42 remaining. Every time New Orleans threatens, Nikola Jokic makes a play, either as a playmaker or a shot maker. Here's Zion Williamson, who's had a phenomenal fourth quarter, single-handedly keeping the Pelicans in the game. He's got 16 in the quarter and 28 for the game.
Yeah, and that's the play, Dave Griffin. I said, what do you like the most? He said Trey Murphy setting the screen, Zion coming off it, creates some space for him to operate. But again, really, it's not that, especially in this quarter, they've scored, but it's this, right? It's just easy layups.
Every time they score, they score.
Rebounds that have just kept the lead about 15, 18 the whole game.
And they're plus 12 points in the paint. They've been able to get out and run. They're plus 8.
They just need to give it to Zion. He's scoring.
Empty possession for New Orleans. Now Denver's got Indiana here on Sunday. Then they head out on the road for a 5-game East Coast trip. As a steal by Trey Murphy. Williamson in transition with a slam. 30-point night for Zion Williamson.
He is fun to watch. I mean, he is fun to watch. That just speed, power, race. I mean, it's just great. He could be so good for the NBA. I mean, just Keep him healthy.
Yep. Can he stay healthy, and can he get consistent when he is healthy? Here's Jokic, still 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. Murray, fall away. Good. Jamal Murray's been excellent from all over the court tonight, whether it's
getting up close to that 20 points.
Penetration or in the mid-range.
A heck of a game for him, too. I mean, every time they've gotten close, he made a couple big step-back threes, too. Is that the triple-double? Is that what everybody's... That's the triple-double. So you should have told me. I mean, I thought you would be on that, Dave. I just listened to the crowd get all excited.
Man.
Pope hits a 3. That's the 12th triple-double for Nikola Jokic, the 117th of his career. He is 4th all-time in triple-doubles. 27 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds, and 1 final timeout by Pelicans head coach Willie Green as the Denver crowd gives Jokic a standing ovation.
Who are you texting? I'm shopping for a car on CarMax. A car?
Are you sure you can afford that?
That's a big purchase.
Relax. I got pre-qualified and shopped by my monthly budget, so I know it's a good decision. Unlike Jenny's new piercing.
Good morning, sunshine.
You might.
Was going in a good direction. Look, I used to look at this, something like this, and the standings are the standings, and you want to be in the top 3, 4, you know, if 1, 2, 3, 4, if you want to be serious, really, you should be that good in the regular season. But it's really about you know, who do you think you would struggle against in the
Man,
playoffs?
New Orleans is off
that is
tonight.
the big question.
Big time.
And I wouldn't want to play this Denver Nuggets team, just the pedigree, Jokic, obviously. You're not going to have the best player in the series. You're just not when you're playing Jokic, and that's hard because it's usually the guy that's going to touch the ball the most, play the most. And then I'd say the Clippers. I mean, the way they're playing right now, veteran team, they're good. I mean, they're showing it. They're in rhythm. They're playing good defensive basketball. They got Kawhi Leonard, who's still top 5, 10 player in the NBA. So I think those two teams are probably the ones right now in the West.
By the way, great hustle by the gentleman mopping the floor to get out of the way before getting run over by Jason Daniels.
I was going to say that the guy was mopping the floor.
That's your response to my
I had to at least point that out.
I poured my heart out about the Western Conference. I mean, I thought, and you talk about the guy with the mop. Unbelievable. Green would never do something like that to me, would he? He would never do that. If I did a game with Breen, I would know what it'd be like to do a game with Breen. But I'm
44 seconds to go in the game. You're going to foul him.
All right. What about the East? Can you top what you just did?
I don't know. Do you care? I mean, do you care? We're going to talk about the guy eating popcorn in the first row?
I will not ignore you this time.
Well, the East, I mean, look, you know, it's the teams that everybody thinks. I do think, though, Embiid is if everybody knocks him because he hasn't played great in the playoffs. But I feel like that he's taken another step. And he's going to be tough in a series. And Maxi's playing fantastic. So I wouldn't just say it's Boston, Milwaukee. I think they're clearly probably the favorites, but it's really a 3-team race, I think, in that Eastern Conference.
So with the Knicks changes, you don't think they're at that level?
No, I don't. I don't.
Minnesota, Oklahoma City, you think not enough playoff experience to look at them in the West and say they're...
Yeah, somebody had a good... I forget. I don't want to steal this. I just don't forget who said it. Maybe you told me, but Minnesota and Oklahoma City haven't had their hearts broken yet.
That was not me. I did not say that.
Okay, so no, I know you did.
It's a good line, though.
I know you didn't. I was wondering if you told me who said it.
Oh, I see.
But anyways, that is a good point because it's not having that tough playoff loss. Minnesota, though, they played hard last year. I mean, so maybe they are, but Oklahoma City, I think, has to have some pain to really be taken seriously. But they're coming. I mean, whether it's this year, next year, the year after, they're coming.
Kind of be interesting to see Phoenix after last night.
Yeah. And that's also, something. Yeah, they just haven't put it together.
They're going to let it run out. That is going to be the game, guys.
Back in a month, and if they keep doing that, they could be.
New Orleans falls to the Nuggets. 125 to 113. So, guys, I'm going to finish up my videos. We're going to drop off the stream here. I got to finish up some of these videos. They'll post tomorrow. We'll have these NFL games, and we'll see you guys later. You'll have a great evening.